New decks are popping up all of the time, and when you are taking them into a tournament where folks are just grinding out the best decks, not only are you brave, but it's super cool to see what's kind of doing well. So let's go ahead and take a look at some off-meta stuff that's been doing great this week, and we're going to keep our eye on them to see, hey, can they actually push up to fight with the best of the best. Up first, we have Solgaleo EX here running the 1 steel apron, and then your other tools here, your 2 metal core barriers. What's interesting here is that you do have a slew of Pokemon, right? You are looking at a one-liner of the Berserker, you're looking at 1 Skarmory, you're looking at 1 Skarmory EX, and you're looking at 2 Solgaleo EXs. Your prime attacker here is Solgaleo EX, but this gives you some room and some flexibility. Galarian Berserker, for in case of y'all don't know, once on your turn, when you evolve it, you can put 2 random Pokemon tools from your discard pile into your hand. So that means you could be running up 2 metal core barriers. You can put a steel apron on a Skarmory, attack for 50. When it finally goes down and you evolve it, you can bring that steel armor right back up here. So having these coincide here is pretty good. You're looking for Berserker here to kind of just be your utility mon. You have your attacker and Skarmory to soften things up, and then you can go into your Solgaleo EX. If anything else fails, you have your Skarmory EX here for just your defensiveness, right? 140 bulk, you have the metal core barrier, you can attack, you can evolve the Berserker, bring the metal core barrier, attach the second metal core barrier, let that one go, and then you dig up and then just run it up again. So this is your wall, this is your attacker, this is your utility or your mini attacker, and this is your main attacker here. So a lot of cool things for the steel typing that we have now, and with the 1-1-1-1 here, I'm curious as to how it continues to all mesh together. But seeing this again, we love the spice, we love the cook, we love the fact that they were able to take this into a tourney and get themselves some wins. Then we continue on to some Chandelure, and I like this. We're looking at 2 giant capes here. What's really sweet about this Chandelure is that you're taking advantage of this baby. While you can draw your cards with Meowth, that Twinkly Call on that first turn is so huge. Being able to draw cards while your opponent has no energy yet, fantastic. You can get that going. You can also go second, attach your energy to something else, but just you're thinning out your deck of mons, building into your Chandelure, and just having at it, right? Like, you are trying your best to throw all these cards into your discard pile. So what's really nice is that because Cleffa is targeted for Pokemon, that means your likelihood to draw into your remaining supporters is that much more higher, because the ratio of Pokemon to supporters is going to grow. So Cleffa in here makes sense, and I kind of like that call for this kind of deck as you're trying to build up your damage, because you get 20 more damage for every supporter in your discard pile for Chandelure, and easily reaching up to that 160, 180, even 200 in a game to really deal with any megas that are in front of you. We go into some Tyrantrum, some Rampardos, and Snorlax. That's right, we're looking at a fossil deck with your hope. Well, not your hope. You are starting out with Snorlax, right? That is just kind of where things are. You have your protective ponchos for your fossils in the back here, and kind of like letting this get the energy as you build it up, or you can build up your Tyrantrum once you have your Illumas. There's 2 Illumas in this deck, so that way you can essentially really make sure that you're bouncing this out of there. So if you're not seeing your Tyrantrum, you can leave your Rampardos on there. Protective Poncho, they can't hit it, so then you're attacking right away. And that's really it. You really want to kind of get this going, get the energy going. Or you commit the energy to Tyrantrum, get this away, and now you're dealing 180 damage, right? As long as you have less Pokemon than your opponent, that's how much damage that you're hitting, and that's just absolutely busted. And once they finally take this thing down, being able to attack for 130 that following turn is really cool here. So the only key thing here that you have to think about is that there is no other rare candy, right? So maybe we play a Craniados, right? Or maybe we play a stage 1 in this deck to like kind of give us another out for it. But you're looking around, and I will play test this deck to see, do I want a Craniados or do I want our little guy here as well too, to ensure that like we can always get it. But at that point, 180, 130, there's a lot of damage that your opponent has to survive to really even make a dent towards you. We then continue into some EV box, y'all. We love a good EV box. I mean, with cards like Training Area to boost these attack damages up. So now you're hitting for 80, or you're hitting for 140, or you're hitting for 100 here with Leafy Clone, to your EV bags to boost up that energy, for your Sightseer to just nab your evolution as well. So this set allowed a lot more utility for stage 1s, and your evolutions are exactly that. So this is one of those ones where like I'm really interested to try again, because you're mainly looking to just build out your lines, and being able to get these out of there, get that Sightseer, get that Forest Breath going or something else is like pretty cool. Pretty cool overall, to be able to attach these to this as well. So this finding success this week, especially as like a newer deck, it makes sense to me. It's a newer deck in sense that we're using newer cards, and it's popping itself back up, even though we've seen iterations of this particular deck in past metas. Then we continue on to some Mega Charizard Y. That's like really, again, try to take advantage of Flareon. So this assisting heater here is, once you attack, you get to attach an energy, and then you have your Flareon for some big hitters as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can play with this. You have 2 EVs, so your Charmeleon can boost up your Flareon attack, and now you're attacking that way. You can Flame Patch if you need to, and like yada yada. But you can also Flareon and then just boost up your Mega Charizard Y, and it also attack that way. So it is lots of fun different ways of like the ways that you're looking for. I do love the Sightseer in this deck as well, because not only are you looking for your Flareons, but finding Charmeleon and taking that out, so that way you can then play around with how you're getting your energy out is actually pretty sweet. And I didn't think about Sightseer in Charizard, but because of this ability Ignition, this is a great pairing inside of this style of deck to either generate energy between these 2 stage 1s, or to just go on the all offensive to attack for that 130. We then shift over to some Mimikyu cheese action here. So what do I mean by that? Your Mimikyu disguise, you have it up for a turn, they attack you, nothing happens, and then you get to go in for your 70, your Meloetta. You get to draw cards, so now you're drawing a Pokemon and your top deck, so there's 2 cards per turn while you still have some Pokemon left in your deck. And then we have Galarian Cursola. So if this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, flip a coin. You want a heads on that bad boy, because that means the acting Pokemon is also knocked out. Now that's scary. That's scary because you can start chipping away against the Mega, and now it's a 50-50 that you win the game while they only get 1 point, right? Like that's ultimate level for cheese to get into that as well. 80 HP, it wants to get knocked out, it wants to take something away with you. So this, I don't know how well this will do, But I can see why this has definitely caught people off guard, because you have to knock the card out in order to secure a win, right? Like, in order to win in Pokemon Pocket, you need points. You need 3 points. In order to do that, you need to knock out Mons. And if my opponent, or if I just keep sending out Corsola, my opponent is just kind of stuck. So, and they're really hoping that they can knock this out with the non-EX, so that way they only lose 1. But trying to be cheeky and get yourself a Mega with this as well too could be pretty sweet. We then go into some Alolan Ninetales action, rocking out the inflatable boat. Call forth from cold, just gives you a little bit of energy generation when your Mantikes ain't popping off. But what this deck is just trying to do is control the board. You are looking for control, whether that is through Alolan Ninetales and ensuring that your opponent can't attach any more energy, to saying, hey, you're hiding in the back, I play Lana, I choose that Pokemon. That's what's crazy about this card, y'all. And it's only with Araquanid, which, like, I don't know how well this deck is doing in tournaments, because I didn't see it, but I saw this one on Twitter. Folks are playing Lana Araquanid line with Mega Charizard. Why? Because Lana says if Araquanid is in play, switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. And notice there's no parenthesis here that says your opponent chooses which one. So you get to pick anything that's out on the board. If it's a Mega that's not set up right away, if you've already knocked out a non-EX, you can switch in a non-EX that has like no energy to it and keep them in there, and they can't switch unless they're running Leafs. And I don't know, we've watched and saw some of these decks and they're not running Leaf, right? Like Leaf is not being ran, X speed is not being ran. So being able to say, I want you, is you, and you come over here and I get that, is awesome. This inflatable bolt is actually really good to be able to keep the energy on, or just even just retreating out for free, so that way you can get the Mantike setup, is also really nice. But I love the Araquanid line. Just to ensure it here, love the fact that like you get 1 Dewpider and 2 Araquanid. Again, you're looking for the evolution. You don't need to clog your deck up with Pokemon, so that makes your May just that much better in targeting and seeing your Araquanid as well too. And I just kind of see that connection there, so that's pretty nice. So yeah, y'all, that's it for the new meta decks that are just kind of working, or new off meta decks that are working. Let me know which one is your favorite one, and if there's a deck here that like you're playing with and it wasn't shown, let me know down below in the comment section. What are you playing, so that way we can also have some fun with it as well too. As always, y'all, if you enjoyed the vibes of this channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and notification bell button so you don't miss another thing. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.